Okay, my friends, this job did not go as planned. So make sure you watch all the way to the end, see what problems I ran into and how I overcame them. Remember, be a victor, not a victim. So if for whatever reason you think you need engine mounts for your Kubota, and it doesn't have to be a ZD28, big 72 inch, it could be just a regular tractor or a smaller zero turn, doesn't matter, because look at these mounts here. First, let me show you what my problem is here that led me to want to change mounts. Look at the huge gap right there. And then over on this side, I'm not sure if you can see this well, but there's right there almost no gap at all. It looks to me like the engine has dropped down in the front and to the left, which would be port side. So it has these round mounts that are impossible to find. At least the Kubota ones are impossible to find. Or it was for me. If you know where they're at, then maybe you can put a link in the description. But I haven't found any. What I did find was these. And I am going to put these on this Kubota. And I'll put a link in the description where I got these. And we'll see if it fixes the problem. If it fixes the problem, these were like less than 20 bucks. I'm sure they're less than 30 bucks. I don't remember exactly, but they were really cheap. I mean, they might have been $24 and something. That's less than I would imagine one of the Kubota ones is, if you can find the Kubota ones at all. Okay, today I'm breaking out the fancy equipment because Shopcat is really the genius behind fabricating everything with 2x4s and duct tape. And today, she's over here ignoring me. She's right there hanging out underneath the pecan tree, and she don't want to work, so I'm on my own. So you just leave me to do all the work by myself? You're not going to even help fix this thing at all. All right, then, let's see how you are. I'm already not able to do something without a piece of 2x4. I may have a 2x4 addiction. I just love how fast this thing is. Get this bar out of the way. Ugh. These holes on this piece are just a regular round hole. that it fits right in. The holes over here, the top of the mount goes through, are actually slotted. Gives a little bit of adjustment. So if this doesn't turn out exactly the way we want it, we could do some adjusting before tightening the top bolts to try to straighten out this problem right here with the fan and the shroud. I'm going after this front left mount next, and I'm not sure what I'm going to be able to get to this nut with. It's kind of in a tight space. So I've got a variety of weapons to go after this with. I'm going to start with the Ryobi. Then I'm going to try using ratchet wrench. If I can't do that, I've got the angled wrench. These are all 13 monkey meters. And then I've got, last ditch effort, the socket wrench, 13 monkey meters. So let's see what it takes to slay this dragon. See, get it on the correct turn. This got that head that spins around, and I want this battery up out of the way, so I spin it around like that. The oil filter is very much in the way. You know what? I'm going to take that oil filter off. Oh yeah, we got room now. Look at all that room. I saw the engine move. It moved that way, and there's already a little bit of space where that. There's already a little bit of space for that fan blade, and this has got a ground wire on it. So that's going to need to be cleaned and put back on there when I put it back together. Be careful with that. And I don't know why they had the washer between the ground wire and the metal, and there's paint all over that metal, so I don't know how that was grounded. Okay, well, I'll fix that. Got to get under there, get it loose from the bottom. There we go. This side looks like the top's going to be a lot easier, but the bottom's going to be a lot worse. The bottom has a fuel filter in the way, another one of these fuel filters. And there seems to be a couple of ground wires on this one. And I'm seeing the same problem here, that the washer is between the ground wire and the painted surface. So this definitely needs to be cleaned up. And oh, I see, there's a little bit of raw metal there. So at least there's some access to the raw metal over here for the ground wire. So I think maybe the Mac swivel socket, the long extension, and the Ryobi. Let's see if this works. Oh yeah, it's ab day today. Whether I like it or not, it's ab day. Whew. Okay, had to switch to the socket wrench. Break it loose. Oh, and now I'm getting it loose with my fingers. The rest of the way out with my fingers. Okay, to get those out, I gotta come up with the engine a little bit. That looks like enough right there. I can probably get them out of there. This one on this side's got a lot of room. I'm gonna go ahead and put the Loctite on the threads so I don't have to do it later while I'm crawling around. Now, the new one looks to be exact same height as the old one, but the old one should be crushed and squished. So I'm thinking that the new ones should be a little bit taller than the old ones. So I put this washer as a spacer right here to lift the engine up that slight bit so that we will have what it would have been if we had these brand new mounts. And since I could be wrong, that means I might end up taking stuff back apart and taking the washers back out of here. Okay, and these studs are definitely longer than the old ones. So yes, I'm having a little bit of a room problem here, space problem. Now I've got it in there, but it seems like the hole in the bottom is kind of tight. So take it loose. Oh, and I just figured out a better way than prying. Look, watch this. If I put this way, put the stud through the top, and then go at the hole in the bottom, I've got plenty of room. So there's the trick. If you don't have enough space, come in at it right here with your thumb on the top so that you can face the bottom toward the radiator. Stick the top stud in the hole first and then rotate the bottom stud toward the bottom hole. It goes right in there. Still a tight fit, so I'm going to go one drill bit size larger. Okay, first one set down in there. Now, of course, this is going to cause a problem with the grounds, and I'm going to have to take a drill bit and hold this with a pair of pliers really tight and open up that ground wire eyelet. I'm also going to want to get some paint off of here where that ground wire sits and put some dielectric grease on there. Okay, this one I had to move everything out of the way so that I could drill down from the top to get the hole bigger so that this would fit in there. And so this just dropped in there without any real trick or anything. Drop this down a little bit. There we go. Now we're hooked in there. These did not require any drilling to get down in these holes, so they're just going right in there. And in addition to the Loctite, I have lock nuts here. They're not nylon lock nuts, which I would have preferred, but they are lock nuts. $15 monkey meter nuts. And those aren't going anywhere. There's a whole bunch of these bolts, didn't have Loctite on them, but I'm going to put Loctite on them anyway. Okay, I pushed to the right on this while I lowered it a little bit, and it went right down on those studs very nicely. I'm noticing something here, and I don't know if it shows up as well on camera as it does in real sight, but you see this bend right here and this bend right here? I'm wondering if that's factory or if this has been damaged in some way, and that's why the engine is over this side too much. Okay, I can't help it. There's only 4 14 monkey meter bolts over here holding this mounting bracket on. So I'm just gonna have to take it off here, get it cleaned up, and get a good look at it to see if this bend here and here are factory or not, or if maybe this bend here is the problem pulling the fan into this side of the shroud, because it seems like it is. I mean, I just can't help but think that that is the problem. I'm gonna need more than what the Ryobi's got. Oh yeah, no sweat for the big Milwaukee. Lots of wires here in the way. Be careful. Yep, there we go. It's that easy. Get that out of there. See right here what I mean? Right here and right here. Yeah, it looks like it's bent. Not factory bent, but damaged bent. And I bet you if I straighten that out, push that away from the engine, which is going to make the engine shift over to the right, and that will go down. So it'll go to the right and up, which is exactly what it needs to be because it's down and to the left. Oh, well, we got a visitor. Look at that. Is that purple? All right, the way I've got this set up in the 25-ton press, you can really see the big gap here where it's bent. And over on this side, you can really see that it's gapped from here all the way over. So it's bent and twisted. And we're going to press that out. And I'm going to have to do some more work on the end there because it's still a bit twisted. So I'm going to have to put this in and out of the press in several different ways, mashing on it to get it to straighten out the way it used to be factory. So this is what I got after the press. I think it looks a ton straighter. It's not twisted. It's not bent so much. There's still a little bit of damage to it. You can see right here where the paint was broken on a line on the engine over there, which tips me off that that bend that it had in it was not factory. And I already had my suspicions. But yeah, I believe this is gonna pick that engine up and to the right a lot. There is some metal exposed here, but I'm moving the ground wire over to here because there's also metal exposed here where there's no paint. So it looks like there was some kind of bracket here helping hold up the wiring harness or one of the hoses, but it'll be a really good place for the ground to get a good ground on the engine. And there's bare metal where it touches the engine on this side as well. Now, yeah, that was the right move to make, because look at the amount of room that we have here now. Right here, a lot more space. Get some light so you can really see. Right there, a lot more space between the fan blade and the shroud, much more, and less space over here. And it's up higher as well, and we still got a little bit of adjustment right there in the slotted hole, so it could go over just a little bit more. So that was the right move, pulling that off and straightening that out. That was definitely a problem. Oh, and I repositioned the ground over here. It's got metal to metal. Well, I did put some dielectric grease in there. And then the plate has metal to metal to the block. And then, of course, the threads go in the block. So there's no way it's not going to get a really good taste of ground to the engine and straight to the frame there. And there's still plenty of slack in the ground strap, so if the engine moves and flex with the flex of the motor mounts, that it's not going to pull on the ground strap. These hood bolts right here, they only go in finger tight, and they've got a hole in them for this hitch pin. See there? That keeps them from backing out. So they don't get torqued and they don't get Loctite. They just go in finger tight and put the hitch pin in them. Otherwise the hood can't move freely. Now let's see how we did. So I'm guessing the next project would be to replace this fan with a new fan that has all the blades not ground off like this, but sticking all the way out, because we've actually got room for it now. We have room for a full-size fan. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Next video, I'm going to be going over some tips on how to do the intake gaskets on V6s and V8s without having to redo them afterwards. Hey, I don't recommend you do anything that I do in my videos. Don't even do anything I talk about in my videos. I don't want you to end up burnt, bruised, and bleeding like me. But if you insist on doing some of this stuff at your own risk, then it's time to get off the couch and get dirty.